Okay, Todd, tell me a little bit about your business.
We started First Serve Cleaning Restoration March 15th of 2005. And my wife was pregnant with our third child at the time, so it was perfect time to jump off the cliff, so to speak. Not really, but we did it then, and it was a great opportunity, and so glad we did.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the nature of your business, how long you've been in business, just some basic background, where you're located, number of employees, things of that nature.
Sure. We have a carpet cleaning business. We also do tile, upholstery. We do water damage. We respond to emergencies that way. We have a lot of equipment that's loaded up in a trailer and ready to go at a moment's notice. In the last couple of years, we've added to our list of services, and we do exterior cleaning now. It's concrete, siding, all the green algae that you see on homes and businesses, we can take care of that. We even do roof cleaning. Sometimes you see the black streaks and the green moss and things. We can take care of that as well. So, yeah, very excited about what we're moving into.
Great. And what side of town are you located? And how have you been BBB accredited?
Well, we are on the west side of town off 10th Street, off 465. We've been at this location for approximately 10 years. And I really don't know how long. It's been a very long time, I believe, since we've been an accredited business.
Okay. How many employees do you have?
We have, right now, we have 4 full-time plus myself. Last year, we were running with 6 people plus myself. And with everything going on with this COVID-19, we have not expanded for this season.
So it was your plans to expand, but that's been pulled back?
Yeah, we were trying to anticipate what could happen with our marketing and with our customer base, but obviously things have changed for the time being, and so we're gonna just kind of hold off a little bit on that.
Okay. So how would you say COVID-19 has impacted your business?
Well, it's been quite interesting. We as soon as the governor came out and said that restaurants would have to close the dining rooms, it immediately shut down a good portion of our business. And then very soon after that, we've had some churches that we go into on a regular basis that said they need to hold off just to kind of protect their funds and things like that for obvious reasons. And so we're at least down by 50% currently. We're still doing some roof cleaning, some siding, some carpet cleaning. We've done a water damage or so during this time as well. But we're just kind of going day by day, just like everybody else. And that's basically all you can do.
So what 3 tips would you have for businesses that are in the same boat as you? They're still open, they're still doing business, but business is way down and they're just trying to stay afloat.
I would say the number one thing was find your faith. Reach out to fellow business owners. We need to help each other more than ever. You know, it's sometimes as a business owner, it's a lonely thing because, you know, your spouse doesn't always understand because they're not actually walking this thing out with you. They're with you, but they're not actually feeling that weight. And so sometimes as a business owner, we get to thinking that nobody else understands. But in this particular time with COVID-19, we kind of actually do. And so reach out to a fellow business person and say, how are you doing? How has this impacted you? How are you dealing with this? I had a text this morning and this gentleman said, hey, sometimes I'm talking people off the ledge and sometimes they're talking me off the ledge. And so we definitely do need each other. And then you have to expect great things to happen. There's going to be opportunity in the future that's going to be different than before this happened. And there's going to be a new emphasis on certain things, especially in the cleaning industry. I think there's going to be a heightened awareness to keeping things on a regular maintenance schedule and keeping things clean. And people are going to allocate money and budgets for those kind of things in business and in your home. It's top of mind awareness right now. So you got to understand that it's not always going to be like it is this particular time. It feels like to be honest, that every day is much, much longer, but you have to focus your mind. You have to keep your heart right. You gotta rely on your faith during this time.
Okay. How often are you communicating with your employees, and what's been your focus in those communications?
So we have two people that they're home right now. They're not working, and so I check in with them maybe weekly. We've had group text messages with everybody, and we've just shared where we're at as a business. The two people that are working with me every day, we talk every day, and how's it going? And just, I don't want to give any false hope of what the future looks like, because nobody knows. And, I've been listening to some leadership podcasts, and what I'm hearing is, you got to look at the future for sure, but sometimes you have to look at the very day or the very week, and don't plan a whole lot past, because things are changing on a rapid basis at this point. And so what we may decide today is right. We may need to change that because of circumstances. And we can't look at our profit and loss and kind of gauge what the past is, what the future is going to be, because sometimes you can look at historical data and kind of see where things are going. You can look at budgets, but right now this is a total unknown territory. And so we just have to be upfront and honest. And, at this point, it's different than when this first came out. We were all nervous, and we still have some hesitations, and we take precautions, but I think things have changed from, this is totally unknown to, okay, we're starting to get into a little bit of a groove here. It's, yes, it's a serious thing, but we're still going about our daily life. And so things have kind of changed through the course of the last couple weeks, I would say.
Todd, what is something you would say you have learned through this that will make you a better business in the future?
Go back to my faith and my family. We have 3 teenagers, and they're all home right now doing e-learning, and one has already graduated. And so I would say my faith and my family have really been my rock. We've really bonded personally, and we're starting to get a little stir crazy, but yeah, it's been great that way. Ironically, the 1st of January, I felt like for this year, my focus was bringing balance and alignment into every area of my life, and that's body, soul, mind, and spirit. And so I had a sign made and put it on my office wall. And so before all this happened, the words balance and alignment really had meant a lot to me. And so that's been my focus this year. And so it's important that as you go through a crisis, especially like this, that you do have balance, not only spiritually, but physically, emotionally, and in every way. And so that has been really what I've been able to kind of lean on, is understanding I got to have balance. Not only that, but physically, what you eat, how you take care of yourself. Are you getting enough rest? Are you focusing on the right things? Turning off the TV, the news. You got to be aware of what's going on, and I am. But I also know that it's time to turn it off. You got to turn it off and really focus on good things.
Okay. What resources would you say you have been most helpful to you as you navigate the crisis, whether it be a website, a podcast, Small Business Administration, Better Business Bureau? What are some resources that you've really tapped that you have found to be helpful?
Well, the Better Business Bureau has offered help getting our profile where it needed to be. I've talked to someone there in their office, and they kind of helped me get some things organized. There's different resources they have to help, and we'll be doing some more of that. A podcast that I just learned about during this crisis was from Craig Rochelle, talking about leadership, how to navigate through crisis through these times. And so that's been very helpful to keep me focused and balanced. There's Automate, Grow, Sell is a business podcast that really talks about how to automate your business and it's been nice to listen to as well. I've been listening to that for quite a few years.
In your dealings with the Small Business Administration, do you have any recommendations or thoughts or tips that you have after dealing with them of how it went and how they have been helpful to you, or what your experience has been?
So we applied for the payroll protection program. It was a week ago last Monday, and 7 days later, thankfully, we received our funding. So to me, it was actually a really easy process. The confusing part was really knowing what the Small Business Administration was going to do and what the regulations were. There's been a lot of confusion on those kind of things, and even the banks and my accountant has been kind of unsure on some things. It's just a moving target right now, and there's starting to be some clarity at this point, but trying to, on a daily basis leading up to this, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and just trying to keep updated. It just seemed like every day there was something new, something changed. And so we just, at this point, have done the payroll protection because I want to make sure our employees were going to be taken care of and going to be ready to start this thing back up full force once the economy opened back up. And we expect that hopefully really soon. But it was a very easy process. I deal with a small bank in town, and that was painless, to be honest with you.
Okay. Todd, you had mentioned to me how you're going to be really documenting things that you have done through this process, so you are assured at the end when you do have to be reviewed to make sure you met the guidelines. So can you put that in the form of some advice or a tip to small businesses that have applied and are tapping into that money, just to caution them to really document and in a way that is easy access and understandable, kind of how you were explaining to me the other day?
Sure. So when I received the funds, I actually put it into a separate account, separate bank actually, than our main checking. And I created what I call a spend down spreadsheet. So it's 3 different columns. I've got how our money was figured, how they came to the number. And so I basically reverse engineered everything. So I knew how much money I had to spend on payroll, how much I had to spend on rent, utilities, and so forth. And so we started with 2 different numbers on the second category, which was a payroll number and the other. And once I do payroll, which I did this week, then I figure out how much I spent, and then I go to that bank account. They cut me a check, and then I put it into our operating expense to cover payroll. So I have check numbers, dates, and I'll be doing that for our, weekly expenses as well as it's categorized. That way, there's no question. I also print out payroll reports, put it all in a separate folder. That way, it doesn't show an inflated bank account, and I think I have all this at the end. Then I find out that I made some mistakes. I just don't want to have any mistakes like that. It's crucial that you know your numbers and that you're tracking it appropriately. One of the things that we can do during this time is focus on other people that are in need. And the other day I was looking at a Facebook page and just saw another business owner that was really struggling, and things out beyond their control before the crisis hit has just compounded the issue. And so I reached out to them via their Facebook page, and then made a phone call, left a message, that just trying to encourage them not to give up. I've been doing business for 15 years. I've gone through my share of issues, and they're newer in business, 4 years old. And so I just kind of left that message, and we've communicated yesterday. And so they are a bakery. And so since this time you can't really go knocking on doors and meeting with people, I decided that our company would sponsor some sweet treats to go out to, in this case, one of my customers who is in assisted living and a nursing home. And we would kind of focus on appreciating the workers there that are dealing with us on a day in, day out basis. And then she had talked about some frontline workers that really need to feel this. You're getting the daytime workers that get some things from the community, but there's some emergency care centers or immediate care. You have your second, third shift people And so the idea is to have some other businesses come together and kind of help a local business keep the doors open. And we can use this to kind of shed some light, give some cheer or whatever to other people. And so we're doing that. And so U.S. Water Systems, which is an accredited business as well with the BBB, they're actually going to donate a water filtration system. I wasn't expecting that, but they jumped in and wanted to do that. And so they're going to make that happen. And there are some other businesses that have jumped on board. They're going to do the same thing. And it's so important. When you reach out and help somebody else, it really takes the focus off yourself, and you're outward focused and you're helping the community. And that's what it's going to take. Small business is the engine of our economy. And so that's very excited to get involved with that.